President Trump's goals are really twofold. First is to secure alliance coordination and cooperation on a hardline approach towards North Korea, and include China in that effort to make sure China is on board when it comes to North Korea. Second is trade, to buttress American trade deals with these countries in East Asia, to sign deals and to make progress on bilateral trade agreements. There's the broader story, though. Beneath all of these other issues is a burgeoning competition between the United States and China about who leads regional political architecture and the future of the region's economy.
So at this point, is it, too hot, too cold? How are our relationships with you? There was a lot of fear that something could happen with China, with President Trump, and yet it doesn't seem like it's gotten more confrontational. It almost seems like the relationship is pretty solid, at least personally, between the President Trump and President Xi. How do you view that?
With China, the personal relationship between Trump and Xi is certainly fairly strong ever since Xi came to Mar-a-Lago. Both sides have worked to make sure that they have a good relationship. And the visit to Beijing is certain to be very high on pomp and symbolism. But beneath the surface, there's a tremendous amount of concern on both sides about an unequal trade relationship, about a very large trade deficit, which is a primary concern for President Trump, but also burgeoning strategic competition over a wide variety of different issues, from specific trade issues, but also China's burgeoning ambitions in the East China Sea, the South China Sea with Taiwan, and what Beijing refers to as the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation, which often translates into China taking a more of a leadership role in Asia and further circumscribing the role of the West, and as some in China hope, circumscribing the role of the United States as a regional leader.
It's hard for us to really understand exactly what the dynamics of the North Korea situation. We hear, just reading this morning, the country surrounded, 80,000 troops that we've got. We've got, warships around. We've got all this happening. Yet the Olympics, my colleague, you're headed over to the Olympics. The South Korea stock market is hitting new highs. How does that work? It's just bluster? We should just assume that the worst case scenario is not going to happen, or if it does happen, it's going to be awful anyway? Or how do you read that?
Well, I think the situation in North Korea is entering a very dangerous phase. As you mentioned, South Korea is one of the most dynamic capitalist countries, dynamic democracies in the world. Yet just to the north, just a few miles north of the South Korean capital in Seoul, is one of the most repressive regimes in the world, dedicated to developing weapons of mass destruction and the means to deliver them. In recent months, they've made great progress in building both nuclear devices as well as missiles capable of reaching American allies in Korea and Japan, but also potentially the United States itself. And the White House has been stating with greater and greater clarity their concern that time is running out, that they would not accept a North Korea with the ability to strike the United States with nuclear weapons, and that a preemptive or preventative strike on North Korea may be in the offing.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.